And hiring the Vice President of Student Services and the Human Service, and then also Human Resources. And please, I know that we talked about this, but I've asked for some information about human resource, and as you know, and you probably heard before, I've always been a question the size of a human resource department that we have here for 134 students, I think is, full-time employees. 135. And I asked for information from East Las Vegas, West Las Vegas, and District Highlands University, and from the Highway Department, DOT. But the only thing I got was from West Las Vegas. They have 251 full-time employees, and that person will be at $59,402. Okay, and I'm not sure how many people they have in their office right now. Our human resource, and I've been in human resource. I was human resource director, and the size of the population that we have for that department, I'd always said that we were paying too much for our exiting human resource manager, and we need to look at our salaries that we have within the school in some areas, and maybe all areas, to find out what we're doing. Before Mr. Quintana left, we had asked for, I think we asked for a comparison of salaries for different departments, for everybody, but that didn't occur. We did have it about 4 years ago, we had a comparison, and we were low on our salaries for some areas. So I'm still concerned about the budget, and before we make these commitments, I'd like to know if we have the money for it. And for the size of the community college that we have, I'd like to see that we can afford these things. Now, for the student services, I was the person that wanted a director there at the time that we found out we had a big change in our concurrent enrollment, and I've always thought that we could do a lot better in there, and I was looking for a director, and then now we're looking for a vice president. So we would have 2 vice presidents and a vice president, or 3, or maybe just 2. But for the size of school, I think that we need to really look at that. And so I know there's a motion on the floor to hire both these people, but with the budget, I'd like to look at it. And with that, I'm going to say that I have asked for a meeting with the Department of Education, Higher Ed, Mr. Garcia, so that we can meet with him, and I'm going to invite the Vice Chairman and the Secretary to go along with that, so that we can have that Secretary come and do an audit of our finances, so that we're sure of where we're at. I discussed this with President Campos yesterday, and he's okay with that. There's been a lot of talk about, do we have money, do we not have money? Before we started, we were $900,000 under budget. Now we are budgeted. I think that we need to look at that before we make these huge decisions and how it's going to impact our school. So with that, yeah, go ahead.
Chairman Montoya, I'm very different with you. I mean, you've been here for the last 6 years and starting a new term, 6 years. I mean, student services, our dual credit enrollment, you've been here, how much have we dropped in the last 4 years?
Well,
we went from how many? From 600 students down to what are we? 297, 200 and, we've had issues with other board members coming up here and asking who's in charge. Nobody is willing to take responsibility, and I think it's the duty of this board to move this school in the right direction. I made a comment about our strategic planning, and this board has not had very much input into the strategic planning, what direction we're going to be going into. And I think, I was elected from my district, you were elected from your district to represent that district. And again, we have Trustee Tenorio here trying to do what's best for his district. We got Mr. Gutierrez trying to do what's best there for his district. And I think that us not recruiting students that we have here in Las Vegas and I've sat down and talked to you and President Campos, I mean, of the way the ball was dropped, and I think that it's a very injustice to the students we have here in Las Vegas, and not only that, representing Luna Community College. So I think there's things, and I mean, we have a human resource person, I mean, I'm sorry, the payroll person right here that has assumed the duties of the human resource person, and I know there's some issues going on right now, it was in the paper, that she's probably going to be dealing with. I think that, I mean, you know, I think we need to compensate and look at what we're doing, and like the old Spanish saying, I'll say it in English, sometimes you get what you pay for. I mean, so I think one of the other board members had brought up, you know, about Luna being underpaid. I mean, in top positions. I mean, and I think that we need to sit down and take a look and see what do we want to do to take care of this institution and what we don't want. I think we're spread kind of thin, and we need to give people more duties to their position. But when we do that, also compensate them for it. And that's my opinion.
And thank you, Mr.
Well,
I have the floor, Mr.
I want to add to that.
I have the floor, Mr. Chavez. I have the floor.
Well, I don't care what you. Okay, but when you have respect, and let me know that I'm
Sir,
involved in something, I'll go ahead and respect you. Well, I want to go ahead and say.
can you say that louder so I can hear you?
No, you guys are out of order.
No, Mr. Romero, this is a public meeting. You're out of order right now. You know.
Okay, I'm saying, when I'm notified that I belong in the search committee, then I will be spoken a little bit more. Okay, and now, like I was saying, as far as the budget and stuff, I think that we need to go ahead and pay attention to our budget, but not only in some areas. I truthfully believe that I've addressed security many times. And we need a vice president here, you know, because of the factor that, you know, at the time, Mr. Campos was really busy and stuff, and I understand that. But that doesn't give us an excuse not to have somebody responsible for